video are we responding to today?
Goodnight, Mommy.
For those of you who don't know what Goodnight Mommy is, it is an adaptation of the famous children's book Goodnight Moon. It's supposed to be gripping and dramatic and perfect for small children. So yeah, no, outside of what I've seen from the trailer, it's an independent, creepy movie. I don't know much about it. It's a foreign film, at least to us.
I don't even know.
Like maybe Swedish or Norwegian or something. Goodnight Mom?
I just remember the trailer looked good.
Got a sleepy cat. The cat was the smart one. We are going to be going through different aspects of the movie. We just finished watching it, so off the cuff, 1 is unwatchable, 2 is not great, 3 is pretty good, 4 is awesome, 5 is perfect, and then we'll combine all of our scores from all the different categories and come up with an overall score for each of us. So our first category is enjoyability.
2.
I give it a 1.5. There's not a whole lot about it from a technical level that's not well done, but it's not a fun movie to watch. We'll cover aspects of why more when we get to the spoilery story section, and we'll let you know before we hit spoilers. But it's not an enjoyable film.
I only give it a 2 because I thought it was pretty.
This was a mistake. We'll cover this more in story, but there are other movies that do the same exact thing. This is not a new story. You've seen this movie before if you watch movies that pretend to be horror movies or movies that are horror movies. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. Moving on, next category are the visuals. It looked nice. It's not going to change your world. It's very well done. Good looking compositions. I'll give the visuals a 3.
Yeah, same. It was pretty, but it was boring and simple.
So acting.
I thought acting was really good because I had a feeling I knew what the movie was about. I still thought the people playing the characters did a very good job.
I believe them.
Yeah.
You know, especially the child actors were very, very convincing, and they had to go through quite a range.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you give it?
3.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Sound.
I think they definitely played the sound safe.
Honestly, I don't even remember. It was very unobtrusive and non-iconic, so it wasn't distracting, but then at the same time it didn't really add anything.
Okay.
Middle of the line, so at 2.5, just because it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It didn't do it poorly, but at the same time it didn't really add anything.
Yeah, same.
So now we're going to get to talking about the story. So these are spoilers. Go ahead if you want to see our final score for the whole movie, as well as our score for the different categories. Skip to the time code at the bottom of the screen if you don't want spoilers.
So basically, there is an accident and Mom is disfigured, has bandages, and has to heal at home, and her children are having to deal with the fact that she needs to sleep, she needs to just do her own thing, and they need to be quiet, they need to not bother her. Then you start to find out, she got a divorce, so they're mad. It's not a them, it's a him, because the accident killed the brother. Tale of Two Sisters life.
You've seen this movie a million times before. However, Goodnight Mommy does do something different, but I'll get to that in a sec. So it's the old conflict of, is it really our mom? You know, is this person who they say they are because she's got the bandages and she's acting different because she's on medication and healing and all that jazz. And
dealing with divorce.
And dealing with a divorce and dealing with the death of a son.
Yeah.
And her son is not dealing with the fact that his brother has died. And in typical horror movie fashion, he's decided his brother still exists because that's a thing people do. Mm-hmm. And
well, they're twins, so that's just an even more connecting, an even tighter connection.
Yeah. But what? Okay, and then it goes off completely into madness where they decide that it's really not their mother. So they just do all kinds of horrible things to her to get her to say she's not their mom and that their mom actually exists out there somewhere. And then they end up, or I'd say the one kid who is real, ends up burning the house down because she won't admit to it, and presumably everyone dies inside. So, feel-good movie of the year. It's not enjoyable. It's not even scary. And the movie tips its hand at the very beginning. Like, right at the beginning, they make it painfully obvious that there's only one kid.
Right.
This other kid doesn't exist. There's only one kid. They don't even try to play it coy or make it a mystery. It's just... And so through the whole movie, there's no suspense. And then they throw these stupid little things at you where it's like, oh, mom's going into the woods late at night and doing weird stuff. But she's not. It's just we find out later, or we guess later, that the kid is just imagining it, that he thinks that's what his mom is doing.
He keeps dreaming and daydreaming about his mom being some monster witch type vibe.
Yeah.
And really she's just healing and distraught.
Yeah, and it doesn't even come off as a twist. It just comes off as like, oh, is this real or is he imagining it? You know, if this were a really dumb movie, he'd be imagining it. If this were a really interesting movie, it'd end up she was some kind of monster or there was some sort of explanation. But no, they just take like the easiest possible route.
Yeah.
If you want to see this movie, but actually scary and actually interesting and have an actual conclusion that makes you
prettier.
Yeah, and is gorgeous. Then watch A Tale of Two Sisters. Like, I cannot stress enough how,
like, it was that movie light.
This is not a fun film for any demographic. I wouldn't even really consider this a horror movie. It's just a dreary slog. In terms of story, I give it a 0.5.
Yeah.
It's just lazy.
I give it a 0. I was bored, and then I was disgusted, and then it was over. So.
Yeah. Yep. Cannot stress enough. Put Goodnight Mommy to bed.
Go watch A Tale of Two Sisters.
Go watch Tale of Two Sisters. Our cat fell asleep, so she wins.